Good day, viewer. You're most welcome to the NILEcast weekly news roundup on WestNile Television, where we give you the highlights of the news bulletins of the week. My name is Okumiringa Christine. Let's dive straight into the stories that made headlines throughout the week. The Archbishop Church of Uganda concluded his 4-day pastoral visit to the Mahdi WestNile Diocese on Sunday, the 9th of July 2023, with a service held at Emmanuel Cathedral, Mvara in Arua City. During his sermon, the area member of Parliament for Ivu East Division, cautioned the Christians to be united in order to attract the attention of the central government. Manoba Ivan reports.
The Archbishop of the Church of the Province of Uganda concludes his 4-day pastoral visit to the Diocese of Mahdi WestNile on Sunday, 9th July 2023 with a service held at Emmanuel Cathedral, Mvara. In his sermon, the Archbishop pointed out the laziness of men in doing work as women take up the leadership positions in the different organizations and government entities. He made emphasis on boy-child to the Christians and urged them to give attention to the boys since they have been left out because of
men are losing it. Men are becoming so lazy. All over the country where I travel, they know what is good, they know working is good, but many do not want to work. Leadership, all the places, the most useful and important places are taken by women. Because they are highly trusted, we should give attention to the boys. Because the boys are left behind. We have forgotten that these girls who are given attention, they will need the boys.
He further stressed that men have neglected their responsibilities at home and are doing their own things, and encouraged the Christians to always do the good things that they were supposed to do.
God has called us to do one other thing, to know what is good and do it.
Area MP for Ivu East Division, Honorable Feta Geoffrey, questioned the Christians to be united in order to attract the attention of the central government.
So whereas the other part of the country is concentrating on socio-economic transformation, WestNile is concentrating. How do we bring him down? You have elected the person, give him an opportunity to do his part.
The diocesan bishop thanked the Archbishop for paying official visit to the diocese for the first time since his consecration and enthronement as the Archbishop of the Church of the Province of Uganda in March 2020. The 4 days visit was the evidence of the outpouring of the blessings as many churches were commissioned and dedicated as business centers and school projects were opened. I am Ivan Manaba, WestNile TV, NILEcast.
And more in our story. South Sudan celebrates its 12th Independence Day on the 9th of July 2023. The national celebration took place at the capital, Juba, but the mini celebration for the Central Equatorial State was held in Mwire Freedom Square in Kajukeji County. Okumu Dominic reports.
South Sudan celebrates the 12th Independence Day yesterday, the 9th of July 2023. The national celebration took place in capital Juba, but the main celebration for Central Equatorial State was held in Mwire Freedom Square in Kajukeji County. The celebration in Kajukeji attracted thousands of people from within South Sudan and neighboring country Uganda. The Ugandan delegation comprised of area member of Parliament for West Moyo County, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner Moyo, business community members, honorable councillors and members of the public was led by Honorable Anyama Williams, the local council 5 chairperson Moyo District. Meanwhile, in Kajukeji, people from the different walks of life gathered for the celebration, ranging from the political leaders, religious and cultural leaders. The military and the residents from both within and far turned up to grace the occasion that majorly focused on peace building. Honorable Anyama Williams, the local council 5 chairperson Moyo District local government, who is also the head of the Ugandan delegation, said peace is the most precious product and peace does not come from government, but the government is a stakeholder in peace building.
The people of Kajukeji, peace is the most precious product, and peace is not externally determined. Peace does not only come from government, Government is a stakeholder in peace building, but all of us in our individual capacities, we are duty bearers in peace building. I want to appeal to everybody to embrace peace, to complement government efforts in ensuring we have a peaceful country. As the government of Uganda and the people of Moyo, I want to commit our assurance that we shall continue to build peace and be good neighbor with you. We have a lot in common to do. Allow me request Your Excellency the President, the Vice President, we are requesting you as the people of Moyo to expedite a plan of rehabilitating and constructing the Jale-Kajokeji-Juba Road into a tarmac road.
Honorable Duma Fanuel, the Commissioner Kajokeji County, urged the government of South Sudan to rehabilitate the road infrastructure, especially the one from Limbe to Morobo and Kajokeji. He further requested the government to speed up the Kajokeji highway and also the construction of bridge on a river Nile in Uganda in order to ease transport between the two countries.
In terms of infrastructures, we now need rehabilitation of Limbe, stop Morobo to Kajukeji, and that will enable our business community to travel side of DRC and those of DRC also bring their good business. As citizens of Kajukeji, we want to request the company to speed up the construction of Kajukeji Highway, which I think when completed, it is going to link the two nations as is mentioned by our neighbor here. On the other side of Uganda, I think the authority in Moyo will appeal to His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni to put the bridge on the Nile and then we'll travel.
Honorable Ladu Jacob, a member of parliament in the transitional government of South Sudan who represented the Speaker of Parliament for the transitional government in South Sudan, started his remarks by telling the masses when he first came to Kajokeji and how things turned very fast. He, however, said the history he talked about is to enlighten the people about the evilness of war, saying if Kajokeji had not plunged into war, they would have developed beyond its current state, and therefore the people should avoid entering into war but rather embrace peace.
To a state that one hardly described. When we came here 2 days ago, my heart was elating because I saw Kajukeji peaking. I am bringing this narrative just for one single reason, and that is the evilness of war. I don't know if Kajukeji was to be in peace throughout this period. I cannot imagine what stage we would have reached. The second point I want to make is that I congratulate the sons and daughters of Kajukeji who left their home area because of the war and sought refuge in the neighboring country. I thank you for taking the courage to come back amidst the propaganda that this place is not good. Mind you, you have only one Kajukeji under the sun, which is your home place.
His Excellency Emmanuel Adil Anthony, the Governor Central Equatoria State, said they have brought the independence celebration to Kajokeji in order to stand in solidarity with Kajokeji.
Independence in Kajokeji County will stand in solidarity with you. Because Kajokeji County is one of our counties that has been faced with enormous challenges over years. And that's why we say this 12th anniversary as the government of Central Equatoria, we have to do it in Kajukeji in solidarity with the people of Kajukeji. I therefore would like to salute our martyrs who made ultimate sacrifice, who laid their precious lives for the reason of freedom and dignity, of whom their great sons and daughters of this great county who contributed their struggle. We salute the sons and daughters of Kejikeji who have contributed for the struggle of the liberation of the people of South Sudan.
His Excellency Dr. James Wani Iga, the Vice President, Republic of South Sudan, who was the chief guest of the celebration, spoke in Arabic and Bari but re-echoed the issue of peace. The Vice President urged the people to stop fighting one another and requested those who are still fighting in the bush to come out and focus on agriculture and other development-oriented activities instead of fighting themselves. The celebration that ended at 7 p.m. East African time but 6 p.m. in the South Sudanese time was with full of entertainment from different groups and local artists, with the major focus of instilling the message of peace among the people for development. I'm Dominic Anthony Okumu reporting from Mere Freedom Square in Kajukeji County, Central Equatoria in South Sudan.
And more in our stories. Nebi Catholic Diocese has ordained Deacon Tony Ochirchan as a priest to serve God after 20 years of studies at the Theologium, Port Portal. The main celebrant during the ordination ceremony, Right Reverend Raphael Poni Wakorach, the Bishop of Nebi Diocese, during his sermon appealed to the new priest to have the spirit of humility in the Catholic Church and the Christians he will lead. Alfred Jawok.
Nebi Catholic Diocese has today, this afternoon, ordained Deacon Tony Ochirchan OFM Cap as new priest to serve God after 20 years of studies at Theologicum Fort Portal. The main celebrant during the ordination ceremony, Right Reverend Raphael Pomoni Wakorach, the Bishop of Nebi Catholic Diocese, during his sermon, appealed to the new priest to have spirit of humility in the Catholic Church and Christians he will lead. The bishop further encouraged the new priest to have self-discipline and be strong as he will work together with him in the diocese.
Priesthood is so important. Indeed, you have said, here I am, I'm available to serve you, God, in the church and as a capuchin. Dear Tony, be available to God. Be available to God by avoiding also being attracted to go after things which are not proper to your calling.
Meanwhile, Richard Tomwa, Chairperson Local Council 3, Parombo Town Council, revealed that holding such ordination outside cathedral is a blessing to the people of Parombo. He recalled how useful to serve God in the capacity of a priest as they grew together with the new priest.
I feel so much happy for the ordination taking place in Parombo. Reverend Father Ochirchan Tony is my younger brother, and I feel the ordination which is taking place today has renewed my faith, as well also renew the faith of the Christians of Parombo. And it is my humble prayer it is going to set the precedence to the young children who are moving in Christ, as well as parents. We need to prepare our children, and then we take them, they follow the way of Christ. And I believe it is historic for me witnessing, and I wish that more of this kind of events will again come back to Paroma.
The newly ordained priest, Reverend Father Tony Ochirshan, committed himself to the call of the Lord to be a good servant. Reverend Father Ochirshan served as deacon at St. Padre Pio's Shrine in 2015, St. Francis of Assisi in 2021, Theologicum of Fort Portal in 2022, and today, 15th July this year, he becomes fully ordained priest. Among the congregations who thronged St. Teresa Catholic Parish, Parombo, where Padire County Member of Parliament Isaac Otemgio Ismail, Nebi Municipality Member of Parliament Hashim Soleiman, National Female Youth Member of Parliament Fiona Nyamotoro, Chairperson Nebi District Local Government Emmanuel Urombi, Nebi District Woman Member of Parliament Agnes Achibu, business community members, civil servants, Christians, among others. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. Since the start of Madiokolo District in 2019, the district has continued to register poor service delivery attributed to the mentality of civil servants commuting from Arua City. During the financial years 2021-2022, the Auditor General captured that Madiokolo District failed to account for over 200 million shillings of the 40 billion shillings approved budget. This could be from the exorbitant costs of transporting staff on a daily basis from Arua City to the district headquarters, which is close to 41 kilometers. Frederick Jamaji moved to where the staff are always stationed themselves at Gili Petrol Station in Arua City and now reports.
It's exactly 2 minutes to 10 a.m. Now the district officials are still here in Arua City, waiting for the vehicles to take them to the district headquarters for them to start work. But if you look at the public standing orders and the local government has clearly stipulated that the government officials are supposed to be at their duty stations by 8 a.m. But if you look at how these people commute from Arua City to Madiokolo District, up at this time these people are still here waiting for their vehicles to come and pick them. But some of them, I understand, will still go back home because either the vehicles might not arrive or they might arrive. So this leaves the service seekers in dilemma. The population is not served well. Most of the monies that Madiokolo has sent back to the central treasury have been because most of the projects have not been implemented in this manner. So we continue to see staff commuting from another district to another district like that, yet they are supposed to be in offices at around 8 a.m. up to 5 p.m. My name is Frederick Jamati. I work with WestNile TV in the program NILE. Thanks.
And more in our stories. Hama Hospital in Arua City organized a free eye care camp that ran from the 10th to the 13th of July 2023 as a way to fulfill its corporate social responsibility of providing eye care services to communities around the West Nile region. Take a look. As a way to fulfill its social corporate responsibility through providing eye care services to communities around the West Nile region, Hama Hospital along Kebiri Kaiko Road, Arua City, has organized a free eye care camp that will run from the 10th to the 13th of July 2023, providing eye care services like screening, diagnosis, treatment, surgery, and provision of eyeglasses at a discount rate. Lutomia Juliet, the ophthalmic clinical officer, is urging the general public to have frequent eye checkups and seek for eye care services in order to counteract chronic eye problems.
Within this camp, we've found a number of cases. So far, we've seen, on average, 100 people in the 2 days. The most common conditions have been cataract, which is the most common blinding disease. It is the most cause of blindness in Africa. To be precise, in Uganda. The people that have come, they have glaucoma, which is a silent killer of sight. Why I say it's a silent killer of sight is a patient doesn't feel any pain, they don't have any symptoms other than losing sight. At the end of of the day patients get to know that they were having glaucoma when it's too late. That's why we normally tell people they should always have frequent eye checkups. These are some of the eye conditions that can be counteracted before it is too late. That is one of the conditions that is irreversible. In simple terms, it's called pressure of the eyes. So we call upon the general public to always seek for eye care services. We also urge the public to avoid using drugs from non-professional people. Many people have become blind just because of using those traditional medications, yet these are conditions that would be worked on and people would regain their sight if they were properly handled. But because of the knowledge gap, they end up not having these services.
Male Habert, the Hama hospital manager, stated that due to the increasing number of eye care cases, the hospital has chosen to organize a free eye care camp in order to cater for communities that cannot afford eye care services.
Hama Hospital is providing a social corporate responsibility to provide eye care services for the communities around West Nile, because we have seen the need throughout our experiences working in this facility. We have seen the need, and even around the communities when we move, we find that people need eye care services. Now, due to the increase in demand for these services and people do not have where to access these services, Hama Hospital therefore decides to organize a free eye care services. Those who cannot afford are able to access quality eye care services, are able to access eye treatment and surgeries, because most people believe that eye care treatments are very expensive, they cannot afford, others don't know where to access these services, and we are therefore helping the communities by ensuring that they have a free access to their eye checkups, and at the same time free access to treatment and also glasses and other surgeries later on. These services will run basically for 4 days, from Monday 10th, that was yesterday, up to Thursday. This current event, we target to have at least 300 to 400 clients served with different eye conditions. And now when we book at least about 100 or 150 of them for cataract surgeries, we are going to get cataract surgeons who will come around, and these cataracts will be operated at a very low cost.
This eye care camp will run from the 10th to the 13th of July 2023 in Arua City. Okumiringa Christine for WestNile Television, Nilecast. And more in our stories. The Minister for Local Government, Honorable Raphael Magezi, has implored the political leaders to use the Parish Development Model Program for their success in the various constituencies so as to be voted back to their various political officers in the 2026 general elections. Stephen Okello from Gulu reports.
While addressing local at Pabo Town Council in Amuro District, the Minister of Local Government, Raphael Magezi, says leaders from Achule sub-region should support PDM for their own benefit.
If you the district councillors and the LCC chairpersons, if you want to be a leader in Amuro, this is your opportunity to shine. This one. Go and visit them. You got 1 million. How are you? How is everything? Did you buy the chicks? Did you buy the rice? Have you planted the maize? How are you doing? You want the market? That is the work of the leader. Follow up this money in 2026. Your life will be much easier.
Akitson Ojara, the chairman of Lamogue Sub-County, says PDM design was made to benefit the local compared to other government programs.
When we look at this program, it's more of an advantage than other government programs, because compared to WEB, compared to Wood and other programs, which really involve many members. But with this PDM, it goes to a specific member among in the group, and which the benefit will be more or advantage than others.
According to Michael Lacogne, the chairman of Moro District, the success of PDM programs depends on the leaders.
We are supposed to put our eyes on hands off. As we put our eyes on hands off, it means things that is meant for local community must benefit the local community.
Some beneficiaries will be using PDM money to boost their existing project.
From my side, I think I'm going to utilize this fund very well. First of all, I already have a project that I'm through with it, and I think when this money is in place, I'm going to use it well.
While others are celebrating because the money has come in the right time.
The money which you are going to give me today, first I'm going to rent 3 acres, so that after renting 3 acres, I got a tractor, so that this tractor took for me, so that I am going to plant dinner. So if I plant dinner 3 acres, I'm going to pay that loan without any mistake.
At least 200 people in Kilansi of Amboro district have received 1 million each from PDM money. And the few we have spoken to are hoping to use this money for agricultural activities.
Stephen Okello for WestNile Television, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, police of Zombo district have arrested Geoffrey Odaga, a 34-year-old resident of Labora village, Paida sub-county, Zombo district, as a prime suspect of the murder of 2 visually impaired persons. Odaga was arrested on Monday evening at his hideout in Pubidi in Nebi municipality. Alfred Jawok reports.
Police of Zombo district have arrested Geoffrey Onega, 34 years of age, a resident of Labora village, Otheko parish, Paida sub-county, Zombo district, as the prime suspect in murder of 2 visually impaired persons. Odaga was arrested on Monday evening at his hideout in Pobidi, Nebi municipality. The area local council 1, Avono Central village, Bernard Orach, said the suspect was picked in connection to murder of 2 people in Labora village, Otheko parish, in the month of May this year. Orach further narrated Odaga and other suspects who are at large allegedly participated in the gruesome murder of 2 people, residents of Avono and Ame, respectively. He said the suspect has been netted by some locals who alerted Navy police and apprehended him and later transferred him to Paida police station, where the case of murder was registered.
Weka bobo machine timbira manyinge udongo Jacob chal kushikiripa polisi bagi beka jituonea le marajo kudwa tim ento wasai yuri bimako kan magine kune anta ishenga beach ko rasibu ne ngati manyinge Geoffrey Odaga etie kuri kite etie kubiti anta wana kare wotim polisi wanda usai yore waketu dano usai kameti ye ayori ngeye washwalo tupara kishitu kucha tim polisi mindevi kishito mako yalmanyinge Geoffrey Odaga baka onready wanda kanwangu ka jomange ariyo mange mnidu mbaini wope chimatu ki Geoffrey ni ai ishenga pitch eti ro police station kai
Paida sub-county chairperson William Oketwengu revealed that the suspect, who is believed to have participated in the killing, went into hiding in Bunyoro, but 2 days ago came to sell his land, where he was arrested. Oketwengu appeals to members of the public to stop taking laws into their hands, but inform police for action.
Sub-county, I hope everybody heard about what happened before in Labora village, where 2 suspects have been killed. So this morning I had information that from the father of the deceased that I should come to the police station because there are some suspects. One of the suspects who killed those boys have been arrested in police custody. He has been arrested from Navy police station, then transferred to Paida police station. So now I came, I found that the suspect is there inside. So that's why we as leaders, local leaders, we do appeal to the public that they should not take law into their hands. Because when you kill someone, the law will follow you. And when you're being arrested, you will also suffer and will deserve for what you have done. So I'm appealing to the public that whenever, anytime they arrested somebody on a suspicion of stealing, or else law is there, they should not take law into their hands.
Zombo District Criminal Investigation Officer, Superintendent of Police, Maureen Chitimbo, declined to comment but confirmed that the suspect is in their custody pending inquiries into the matter. Currently, the family members of the deceased are advocating for justice so that other suspects are brought to book. Following the gruesome murder of the two over 72 grass-thatched houses were burnt by mob in revenge for the death of their relatives. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast TV.
And more in our stories. Arua Secondary School maths and physics teacher by the name of Ajuma David committed suicide for reasons unknown. Anguzu Rashid, the head teacher for Arua Secondary School, described the deceased teacher as a dedicated and committed person. Parish Majid reports.
It is a summer mood at Arua Secondary School. This as the school fraternity woke up to receiving the shocking news of the death of one of their colleagues known as Ajuma David. Ajuma David has been handling mathematics and physics, both at the ordinary and advanced levels. He also taught in a number of other schools within Arua City. The exact cause of him committing suicide remains unknown, pending police investigations. But however, a family member confirmed the cause of his death.
And it was all of a sudden yesterday. In the evening, I was called by my brother that he has been taken to a star clinic on which he has taken some chemical, something of that kind. So I had to rush from prisons to the star clinic. Then after reaching there to reach him and ask him what has happened, he just told me what happened to him is he has taken acid, this sulfuric acid for the batteries 2 times. That's what his problem. So I asked him what was the reason. He not tell me the main reason. Just telling that he's having some issues to be handled. I should handle it very carefully. After he's been okay for me, I should take him direct to his dad at home. Then later I started vomiting the blood.
Anguzu Rashid, the head teacher of Arua Secondary School, described the deceased as a dedicated and committed person.
David is an old student of this school. This is a guy who is such a hard-working guy that when he was in school here in Arua Secondary School, he was able to pay his own fees. And how he would pay it is he was working with one of these private security organizations. So during the night hours, this man would be guiding either the banks or some of the government properties out there. Then very early in the morning, he would rush and drop the gun at their office. Then he would be one of the first students also to arrive on the school compound.
Similarly, the students and the teachers also praised the deceased for his character of being kind and a dedicated worker.
Mr. Juma is hardworking. He has not been missing his lessons. He has given all his time to the learners, and his performance in Senior 4 has been exceptional. Because whenever he's in Senior 4, you are sure the students will pass his papers with flying colors.
It's been a shocking news when we came in the morning, when we heard that we lost our math teacher by names of Mr. Ajuma David. He's just not a math teacher as the rest of the mathematics teacher, but for him, there is that uniqueness of teaching in him. And if you see in this school, he handles, let me say, from Senior 1 up to Senior 6, and that was all because of the students' request, which was made to the administration. His teaching is just, let me say, unique in a way that the first example he gives, at least 90% of the students in that very class he teaches understands once. And for him, he's someone who teaches slowly but sure. He does not grow angry, no matter how many questions you ask him about that very example. If it means doing that example for the whole period, as long as you understand that was his motto.
It is really a very sad thing that we lost Mr. Ajuma at this early age.
Mr. Ajuma, I think in the whole of our races, nobody will ever replace him in all the department. That, for example, math and physics department has been there is no teacher like him in the entire one of our races. Mr. Ajuma has been a friendly person, was really friendly to students, starting from senior 1 up to senior 6, and was really willing to help the students. Even promised us that this year we want to change the performance of students, especially in mathematics department. But now it is really very sad that we lost him at this early stage. And now it is great going.
In 2019, a police report indicated a sharp rise of suicide cases due to a number of factors. Farish Majid, WestNile TV Nowcast.
And more in our stories. The Ambassador Extraordinary of the Republic of Uganda to South Sudan and the head of the UN missions in Juba, Brigadier General Ronnie Balia, has commended the good work by the United Nations in South Sudan. Speaking during the Uganda Police Medal Parade on Wednesday in Juba, Brigadier Balia congratulated the Ugandan officers for the excellent work that they have performed in the war-torn country. Alfred Jawok.
The Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Uganda to South Sudan and head of UN missions in Juba, Brigadier General Ronnie Balia, has commended the good work by United Missions in South Sudan. Speaking during the Uganda Police Medal Parade held on Wednesday in Juba, Brigadier Balia congratulated Uganda police officers for the excellent work they have performed in the war-torn country. Brigadier Balia noted that the conduct and performance of the soldiers in a given area is a reflection of the competence or incompetence of the commander on ground.
We shall see them by their fruits. Thank you very much, the commanders of the Uganda Police Force contingent and all the contingent members. As we say in the military, there are no bad soldiers, only bad commanders. The conduct and performance of the soldiers in a given area, good or bad, is a reflection of the competence or incompetence of the commander on the ground. The quality of command matters a lot.
However, Murat Isik, the UN mission police boss, assured Ugandan ambassador to South Sudan that Uganda has dedicated and role-modeled officers who perform their duties diligently.
All your officers are working together with me, and this is a great honor for me. Thank you. And I can assure you they are very professional, dedicated, and their professionalism is a role model for the others as well here. Thank you for that. This ceremony is held in honor to recognize the Uganda contingent peacekeepers with the highly regarded United Nations Medal for their committed service to the cause of global peace in South Sudan. In various capacities, each of them has successfully undertaken critical responsibilities at both mission headquarters and as public said in the villages, which is field offices for us, namely Val, Choit, Malakal, Bor, Avail, and Bentiu, in fulfilling demands from both administrative and operational areas. I would like to recognize your solidarity and much needed support to South Sudan's people, especially the most vulnerable in these precarious conditions. Congratulations to all the Uganda contingent peacekeepers for your noteworthy achievements.
In the meantime, Senior Superintendent of Police Musiwa Abubakar, Uganda Police Contingent Commander in South Sudan, expressed gratitude to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for having promoted police officers and assigned them to work with UN missions. Abubakar urged police officers in peacekeeping missions to be vigilant while they carry out their duties.
We are in today is called medal pinning ceremony, which is mandatory to every individual police officer or police officer in a peacekeeping operation. And it is a sign of appreciation for the endurance, resilience that the contingent or individual exhibits while in the mission. Remember, you are away from your family, you are in a new environment, and these are some of the motivators to keep you going. We thank our chief guest, Ambassador General Ronnie Barrier, for gracing this occasion. The ANIPOL component, the police commissioner, and members of the senior management for considering attending this event in person without limitation. We commit to serve to the best.
Uganda has over 2,300 police officers on UN mission in South Sudan, commanded by SSP Musio Abubakar. The colorful event was celebrated under the theme, Peace is our priority to humanity. Alfred Jawok, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our story, stakeholders in the West Nile region want tobacco and its products out of the region following the environmental, social, health, and paused by the plant for decades. According to them, tobacco is tedious, cost-ineffective, and leaves the population in extreme poverty, retarding regions' growth, while the products tobacco increase respiratory illness and deaths in the region. Let's have more on that story.
Various stakeholders want an immediate enforcement of Uganda's Tobacco Control Act 2015 over the escalating environmental social risks brought by the crop in Western region. The Tobacco Control Act 2015, assented to by the President on 19th of September 2015, aims at protecting the environment from the effects of tobacco production and consumption and exposure to tobacco smoke in order to promote the health of persons and reduce tobacco-related illnesses and deaths, as well as protecting persons from the socio-economic effects of tobacco production and consumption, which will be implemented by the police and other agencies, including the local governments. According to World Health Organization, farmers who grow tobacco use chemicals which are harmful and describe tobacco as a global health threat, killing 7 million people annually, making it world's leading single preventable cause of death. Deforestation and loss of biodiversity are the pricking challenges, raising the eyebrows of the leaders in the region. Ezama James Nadua, a farmer and the chairperson of Works Committee, Terego District Local Government, says farmers are forced to grow tobacco due to no alternative cash crop in the region.
We don't have any other cash crop which can bring a lot of money for the people of Terego. Now, because of this, everybody is trying to gamble around which crop can be grown to get money. And people are still growing tobacco. You move from here to Biliafe, you move to Mogo, Uria, Makatini, you will still get tobacco being grown. Moreover, this tobacco has spoiled our land. You can now see trees are completely cut down because of curing tobacco. We are trying now.
WestNile Television understands through preliminary interactions with some of the farmers that a farmer needs at least 4 million Ugandan shillings to successfully produce tobacco, from land preparations to marketing stage for an acre of land, and the returns vary between 1 million to 1.5 million Ugandan shillings, when only if it does well, indicating a total loss. Arua Resident District Commissioner Geoffrey Okiswa reveals that the farmers have failed to move out of the tobacco production, yet its returns are too low.
We are talking about, if you went into the calculations of returns, you might find that the farmers are doing more of losses than gains. So this is where eventually, when economically we make the calculations, you might find that it's not cost effective for our people to engage in the cultivation of tobacco for that particular factory.
It is estimated that about 600 million trees are cut down annually to produce 6 trillion cigarettes, which directly contribute to increased carbon emissions, influencing climate change. John Nkamfle, Terego District Environment Officer, reveals that the devastating impacts of tobacco growing has trickled to extreme poverty, changing weather patterns, and tasks farmers to step into other crops that do well without inorganic chemicals to grow them.
It involves use of chemicals, and in most cases when the soil has been used for growing tobacco, the impact of those fertilizers continue to persist in that soil for years. One, those fertilizers end up becoming toxic to the soil organisms, and which leads to the reduction in the productivity of the soil. So they again go back to the natural forests to degrade them because like in a year, a farmer may use about 20 cubics of firewood. And when you calculate this by the total number of the farmers in a district, you can just know the quantity of firewood which is going every other year. And this, without being replaced, is really very tragic to our environment. This tobacco business also affects food security. I mentioned the point and say that tobacco growing is a hectic work. People do it throughout the year. It starts with land preparation and it ends at the marketing of it, the sales. And that cycle also continues. So in the process you find the farmers who are concentrating in tobacco farming, they don't have the time to now do crop production.
During the last financial year that ended on the 1st of June 2023, Arua City documented over 700 persons with tuberculosis who have been enrolled on drugs. Amantu Alfred, the Principal Environmental Health Officer, Arua City, urged members of the community to desist from coming in contact with tobacco and its products, since their effects can lead to death in a long run.
Smoking can lead to heart diseases, it can lead to stroke, it can lead to lung disease, it can lead to chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, and chronic bronchitis, and also certain eye conditions which are related to tobacco and cigarette smoking. When we look at tobacco and also its relationship with TB, you'll find that there is a correlation between that, and this has affected. We have 750 people within our city who have TB.
Uganda government has continued to discourage the dealing in tobacco and its products to rescue the population from long-term effects associated with it through laws, but these have faced hiccups in the implementation. Hence, outgrowers continue to grow the tobacco while public smoking still remains a big challenge. Frederick Dramadri, WestNile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories. A team from the World Bank together with the government of Uganda are set to visit Adjumani on the 27th of July 2023 to monitor the progress of Atiak Omi Road. The resident district commissioner of Adjumani district, Taban Peter Data, is calling upon the general public and all stakeholders involved to gear up preparations to receive the visitors. Onzima Alan and Alessi John report.
The team from World Bank, together with the government of Uganda, are set to visit Adjumani on 27th July to monitor the progress of Atiak Omi Road.
Our back recording azingapi the money, lakini afa money asia zodore bagi wa yupre because tutaki amaba ompere leri consider people afa porapara iki yonzu batakaro desero alema iba Tidro, le tidelo kuitaro pelere, kele tidemari madra citra. Amaba sakara dede, Iti namanya bukan apa, pasti mukar sidoroknya amaku, ulukat sidoroknya amaku. Ya oleh oke lini balik di bukar ini, ini tidak apa kibua oleh nyawa di sini sa nyerani taruh kok kerulaka. Isian hotel itu tidak terora, antara polisian sah, oke ada sorry masa ama asakar oper lima ama ini kalau jangan ya ama apa dia sama lagi jadi ama tetangga aslinya kok bahasa kasih kita ruko.
In relation to this visit, the resident district commissioner of Adjumani, Taban Peter Data, is calling upon the general public and all stakeholders involved to gear up preparations to receive the visitors.
Very, very, very well. And the Tamaking has now entered the town center and have gone beyond Kachara sub-county headquarters, and that means work is proceeding. I want to inform the general public that on the 27th of this month we are going to receive the World Bank team that is come to see the continuation of the road from Omi to Moyo, and this one obviously includes the bridge. So I call upon the people of Adjumani, let us embrace this golden opportunity of progress and development by allowing this workstation continue smoothly, peacefully until we come to the end.
He added that the road construction has so far reached Adjumani town, which shows a steady progress in the work. He also urged all the road users in the meantime to take caution while using the roads, especially those under construction. Onzema Alan and Alice Joan, WestNile Television.
And with that, viewer, we've come to the end of the Nilecast Weekly News Roundup on WestNile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast, only on WestNile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Ukumiringa Christine. Have a good evening.